Following my video about immigration, I thought at this point it was important to ensure that not only what I say is not misunderstood, but also that it is not misrepresented. The last thing that I would want would be people from different backgrounds throughout the UK to be sat watching me nervously, wondering if I am the bearer of division and racism and fascism and all of the rest that goes with it, of which I certainly am not. Those of you who may know me from my other channel, where I make videos about property, hopefully giving people the truth in an industry where most people tend to just lie, you'll know that no matter what your background, where you're from, where you were born, whatever your race, creed, colour, etc., I will always go above and beyond to help you if you get in touch, to give you my honest opinion and to wish you well, rich or poor. My contempt is towards the elitists, the big corporations who are successfully dividing people for their own benefit, manipulating not just the entire nation, but the entire Western world. A few weeks ago, in one of my videos, I mentioned the term woke warriors or something like that. And you would not believe the barrage of abuse I had in messages and emails and so on and so forth. Because I won't tolerate the virtue signalling hypocrites who are so responsible for creating division where there is none, so that they can then highlight and exaggerate that division, even if it doesn't exist, so that they can appear to be more virtuous and have something to boast about at their dinner parties in Islington. That is far more dangerous than we actually realise. There have been entire nations that have allowed social divisions to be exaggerated and manipulated, resulting in not just civil unrest, but in war. Cyprus is a perfect example. Divisions that were placed there when Cyprus was under British rule, dividing, as they decided to term people, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, who I might say are actually the same race. We knew this before DNA because Cyprus has the highest incidence of thalassemia in the world. 51% of the population has the trait. It's almost non-existent in the UK. It's not a problem to have the trait. It normally means that it does affect your iron level, so more often than not your ferritin, instead of being around the 14, hovers around the 10 mark. However, if two people with the thalassemia trait have children, there is a great chance that one of their children or more of their children will have thalassemia major, which is basically the bone marrow creates distorted red cells which have a shorter life, meaning that they need blood transfusions every month to live. This was before DNA, and Cyprus has the highest rate, and within all Cypriots the degree was exactly the same. Moving forward, DNA has also confirmed that these people come from the same gene pool, but yet from small divisions, political, religious, but mainly outside forces. They were highlighted and exaggerated and exploited until they turned on each other, and eventually it ended up with the island being divided. I'm not suggesting that that's going to happen in the UK, but we need to be very, very careful of political forces that attempt to create division and exaggerate that division and exploit it for their own ends, because it is very, very dangerous, and we need to stop this. But what can we do? I was asked by several people if I intend to stand. Well, I did actually announce on my previous channel that at the next election I would like to stand for Northampton North. It's an impossible task. I don't stand a chance. No independent has ever won the seat in Northampton North, or Northampton as a whole. No independent has even gained enough votes to recover their deposit. But that will not stop me. I'm not standing in with any expectation of winning. The reason that I want to stand is to inspire others in different parts of the country where you do stand a chance to do the same. We have been conditioned to believe that people who stand at MPs need to come from the same school and need to have participated in a passing out parade which involved some sort of lucid behaviour with barnyard animals. Nothing could be further from the truth, and far from being the most qualified to stand and represent us, they are the least qualified, because they have no concept of real life. The people who are most qualified to stand are people who've driven a cab, cut hair, worked behind a bar, raised 3 or 4 children on their own, because they do understand what real life is like. So whoever you are, wherever you're from, whatever your background, whatever your faith, if you really want to make a difference, you need to stand. I'm not saying that an army of independents will be in government, but it is possible for an army of independents throughout the country to win enough seats to hold the balance of power and force their hand and stop this arrogant exploitation and division and madness that's being bestowed upon us by these arrogant traitors, because they are all traitors. Do not allow yourselves to be divided by one party or the other. They are rats from different sewers, and no matter what you are told, whoever you elect to represent you will not answer to you. He or she will answer to the party whip, because if they do not, they will be out. Think about this. How many people do you know in your constituency, if you're old enough to remember, of course, who would have wanted their MP to have voted to invade Iraq? Probably none. The MP here in Northampton voted to invade Iraq, and I've not come across one person who supported it. I intend to publish all of their names in a wall of shame, because the best way to shame these people is to go back to their actions in the past that they desperately try to hide. Stand as an independent. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter whether you are a Remainer, Leaver, left wing, right wing, whatever the case may be. It's good that you are different. That's democracy. It's good to disagree, because that's democracy. It's good to express an opinion, because that's democracy. This is not democracy. We need to take back our country, and we need to implement democracy in its purest form. I hope this makes sense. I'll continue in another video in the future. Thank you very much. Bye bye.